Oh, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Jacob, also known as Pick Management, back here with my girl Soccer Ash, aka Soccer Q Ash VIP on her socials. We are back for a new episode of Betting in the Pitch Europe with some bonus plays. But I gotta tell you, I am so stoked to be back today. This is one of my favorite shows to do. I love doing shows with Ash. She knows soccer better than just about anybody else out there, and really just crushes the slates on a daily basis. And you guys all know that soccer is my number one sport. So we are here to kill today's episode and the weekend slate that we're giving you plays for Saturday and Sunday. But before we get started, I got to tell you guys about a couple of tools every bettor needs in their bettor's toolbox. First is the Juiceful app. Juiceful is a totally free app that automatically syncs to your sportsbook and provides insights and analytics into how you wager so you can become a better bettor. If you're looking to take the next step in your betting career and you want to start your own subscription service, you can do that right through the Juiceful app. Set your weekly price to whatever you want, and you're off and running. And if you're a person that likes to tail picks and you're not really like a handicapper, but you want to follow successful bettors, Juiceful is the place to go. Full disclosure, you get everyone's plays third-party verified because it connects right to your sports book, so you know you're getting everything official. Make sure you check out the Juiceful app. Link is below. And if you guys are looking to build sports betting models and don't know where to start, Rhythm is the place for you. Most people have no clue how to even begin building their own sports betting model, but Rhythm teaches you from A to Z everything you need to know. My Rhythm March Madness model went 15-4 the first 2 rounds, 24-7 the first 4 rounds, and they have predicted every single NC State upset so far in the March Madness tournament, and they have them losing by 7 versus Purdue. So just a little note there. Make sure you sign up for the Rhythm app. The link is below. But Ash, I'm going to go ahead and toss this over to you so we can dig into your best bets for the weekend slate.
Yeah, before I begin, though, I'll just say that that model sounds like it's spot on. So I'm sure it's predicting the mighty, fantastic Yukon Huskies to take down my Crimson Tide. But if it does, I don't want to know anything about it. I'm proud of my team for as far as they've gotten. And, at least we still have to play the game. So we'll see. But yeah, I'll be having to scratch and blow it. Hope we just play well in that one. So, I'm going to start off the show like I did last one. These are going to be pretty straightforward, but I'm giving you guys tons and tons and tons of value. So typically I'll give you, totals and team totals and then like 1 or 2 goal scorers. This is going to be a more anytime goal scorer plays centric show for me. So
listen, you hit those more. You hit anytime goal scorers more than anyone else I have ever met. I literally never play them because I can't hit them to save my life. But I tail you and smash them all the time. So I just wanted to say that. So
yeah, a lot of people are scared to play them. It's like I would play them sparingly, but I've literally been building this list for 3.5, going on 4 years now. I added 2 guys last night, so my list I think is up to 98 goal scorers. So yeah, I mean that's what I do every morning. I'm obviously not playing 98 goal scorers, right? So I'm analyzing which teams are at home, which teams do I expect multiple goals from, which ones are probably on pins. So yeah, it's a tedious process, but well worth it. And honestly, they're my favorite plays. So let's get the non-goal scorer plays out of the way first. This one is going to be probably one that everyone who bets the sport is going to be on. And this is actually an MLS play, which those are kind of rare for me. But I am going to go to this, what's it, El Tráfico, right? So what this is LAFC versus Galaxy. Anyone who follows me at all or listens to me rant about the MLS knows that I pretty much view it as a mutant league, and I can't stand watching it. It looks like people who are kind of taught how to play backwards, like on purpose. They were taught the wrong way. I don't get it. But I started watching Inter Miami because Messi is my favorite player of all time. And when they played Galaxy, I was super impressed. Now, I followed Joseph Paintsil, when he was playing in Belgium. So that's where, my forte is with European play and especially European scores. So when I watched the pace and everything, I've been super impressed with them, super impressed with their pace. That guy I think is on a whole different level. So yeah, I'm going to take this classic combo here in this Los Angeles matchup, and I'm going to take both teams to score and over 2.5. It's -140. But trust me, I think it's well worth it. I'm not even going to go into the entire history, but you could say out of the last 10, but at least 8 of these have gone over. This is just, it's a rivalry. And typically when these teams meet up, it's just goal heavy anyway. And that's when Galaxy haven't even been very good. I think when, other than their last match, which we'll excuse them for. So Galaxy, it's like a 1-0 match, but it was a completely waterlogged pitch, right? So the ball was dead. So we're not going to hold that one against them. I have played Galaxy team total at plus money personally, but we're just going to play it like this. I think both teams definitely score. I think there's a good chance that both teams could net twice here at least. So
Absolutely, yeah.
I think it's well worth it. That's going to be the juiciest, the most juice you're going to have to lay on any of my plays. So I'm going to give you guys tons of plus money plays to balance that one out. But at minus 140, I mean, when you look at the history and the current form of these, I rarely play anything minus 160, minus 170, but value is value, and if you think it's a winning play.
I think that this is a unbelievably good price for this bet, minus 140. I don't think it's listen, the juice for this one is really not that bad. I would have thought this would have been like in the 170s because you said you didn't want to touch on the last 10 matches, but in the MLS show we actually touched on this match for a while. So we dug into some of the numbers here. I love LA Galaxy team total over 1.5. I definitely think they scored 2 goals. They have been putting up tons of goals all season long. Galaxy, and they've been playing like a real open style. They've also been allowing quite a few goals too. LAFC has been a disappointment kind of to start the season. They did start slow last season as well, so I could see them picking it up here, and they usually do against Galaxy. The last few matches against these two teams, 4-2 LAFC, 2-1 Galaxy, 2-0 LAFC, 3-2 Galaxy, 3-2 LAFC, 3-2 LAFC, 3-1 Galaxy, 2-1 Galaxy. I mean, it just keeps going, and these teams always score against each other, multiple goals. I might be looking towards a ladder in this one, especially this season, since we have seen Galaxy be able to score and put up a bunch of goals. So I'll be taking a peek at that as well. I don't have anything official for this game here, but the MLS show official play was the same one, so we're on that as well.
Okay.
And I'd also be looking towards like a first half over in this one too. The first half scores, they have scored at least 1 goal in all but 2 in the last, I want to say 2, 4, 6, 8, like 12 games against each other. There's been at least 1 goal in the first half, 2 or more in all but like 9 of those. So also a high score in first half. I'd be looking at like LA Galaxy to score in both halves here. I think the LAFC line at like minus 135 is totally disrespectful to Galaxy here. And I might even be looking towards like a Galaxy double chance, depending on what that number is at. I didn't take a peek at that. But I definitely think that we'll see goals galore in this game.
Yeah, I think so. When the lines first came out, I'm not sure. You guys will have to double check what it is currently, but I took for a unit Galaxy team total over 1.5 at plus 163, which I thought was just ridiculous.
It's at 145 now, and the LAFC line has dropped from 135 to 120. So if you're going to bet this, I would say bet it now, because I have a feeling that LAFC team total is going to drop some more. I think the Galaxy money line and double chance is going to drop some more. I talked about this on the other show. Well, it's kind of untouchable now. Yesterday, you could have gotten plus 1.25 for minus 180, which is really juicy. Ash, you know me. I'm not scared of the juice. I'm okay to pay the tax on this sometimes. But there's no way Galaxy loses game by more than 2 goals. By more than 1 goal. At least I don't think so. So that
you wouldn't think so.
Would have gave us a half a win here. If you don't think Galaxy can win and you want a little push protection, you maybe think there's a draw here. Plus 168, I think it's still crazy. But yeah, I think that we'll see multiple goals. And I think that Galaxy double chance, Galaxy or draw is at even money. It's worth taking a shot. Just by the way Galaxy's been playing so far this season, they look to be the better team.
Yeah, because I can't think of the guy's name right offhand, but Galaxy's center forward. I've been focused on Joseph Paintsel just because I've been following him for several years. But that center forward, that guy's lights out. He shoots the ball probably 5 times per match, puts like at least half of those on target.
Yep.
So Yeah, I think that like and you know, if you guys want to throw it in and get it closer to even money, like Jacob was saying, when you take a first half goal, just add that to the BTTS and over 0.5 goals first half, and that should put you right around evens for those people who like, you know, to make it a little bit more interesting. So yeah, glad you like that one.
So what else
And
we
yeah,
got
with the
there?
juice, like you said, I think that just everything points in the direction that I would say a fair price for BTTS and over in this one would be more like minus 175. So I'm fine with laying a minus 140. I would lay a minus 160 for it. Yeah, because I play enough plus money plays to more than balance those out. So
cool.
All right, this is going to be and the second one and the last one that's not in Europe. We are going to go to Mexico here. And this is going to be a matchup of Tigres versus Pachuca. And we're going to take over 2.75. That's at minus 110. So as you guys know, if it lands exactly on 3 goals, then, you know, it's half a win, which I am always fine with. If I had half a win on, you know, 90% of my bets, I would be filthy rich. So, but those that, you know, don't mind a little bit more juice, over 2.5 is playable. Probably around, you know, maybe a little bit better odds than the last match we were talking about. So yeah, if you want to, you know, play over 2.5, that's fine too. That way 3 goals get you a full payout. But minus 110 here, I'm totally fine with a half cash, and I think there's a chance that there are more than 3 goals, or I wouldn't be playing the over 2.75. Not going to go into a lot of stats and bore you guys with that one. Just typically just strong stats. You know, heads up, I like each of these teams individually. To score multiple goals, typically anytime they play, and especially when they play each other. So yeah, I think at minus 110, that's a great value. Now we're going to move on.
Oh, I was going to say, you know,
go ahead.
I don't know too much about these leagues. I will say though that Tigres in CONCACAF has been playing some stellar soccer. They took down Orlando City. They just beat them 4-2. They drew against Columbus they drew against Columbus last month. I mean, they've been playing some good soccer, putting up quite a few goals. I mean, we've seen the last 2 games for Tigres at least 1-1, 3-2, 5-1, 4-2, and 3 of those were wins. And, you know, these 2 teams, the last 4 games between each other, have seen both teams to score. So I definitely, you know, I don't know much about these leagues, but it does, you know, look to be good for both. I just wanted to mention that. But yeah, what else were you going to I knew you were about to move on. Sorry.
Yeah, with that one too. I mostly play European goal scorers, but yeah, that's actually why I started paying attention to Liga MX. I was looking for goal scorers, and then just started paying attention to teams. And Tigres and Pachuca are 2 of the ones I like to bet for goals, and a couple of guys on there that I love betting as goal scorers too. So yeah, betting goal scorers is a good way to familiarize yourself with leagues maybe you wouldn't otherwise play. Same way with the MLS, they're taking Wonga and Luciano Acosta and Giacomakis, which is my favorite MLS player to bet. But anyway, I've gone off track here. So
no, it's
the rest
cool.
of these are going
to be. You have some anytime goal scorers you were going to get into?
Yeah, the rest of these are going to be anytime goal scorers, all in Europe. Most on Saturday. I think there might be one on Sunday, but yeah, it's going to be Saturday or Sunday. These are all fantastic value. I will tell you, I personally, and then everyone in my VIP, don't play these for full units because I play multiple scorers a day. And when you're betting such big plus money, you know, you have to hit 1 of 3 and 1 of 4, even sometimes, depending on the odds to be profitable. So if you're someone who's not used to betting these, and I'm going to give you a plus 300 goal score, don't throw a unit on it and be like, well, she said he was going to score and he didn't. You know, this is a matter of odds, and we play them consistently. And probably, ironically, these big plus odds are higher, not just the most profitable, but oddly enough, the ones that we have the highest strike rate on, right? Which is crazy at these odds. So yeah, third of a unit, half unit. No, don't go anything crazy. And if you're not one to bet props and you're going to get pissed off if the guy doesn't score, just keep in mind, I bet these guys all the time. So just if you love value, you'll love these. If you don't like risk, then, you know, just steer clear. So we are going to go to Germany for these first 2 guys. Just going to give you a little bit of stats on each one. I'm just going to give you a little bit of reasoning into why I like these particular guys out of my list of 98 scores. So this first matchup we are going to go to a lower Bundesliga league, and this is a matchup between Nuremberg and Holstein Kiel. I like both of these teams to score. I could see both teams scoring multiple times, but the value that we're getting on this guy is just unreal. He's most people will be on Holstein Kiel scores, which I don't see a problem with, but we're going to go with the home side here. So for Nuremberg, we're going to take this guy, Kan Uzun, to score anytime at plus 250. Now, we keep playing him, we keep hitting him, and the books just refuse to adjust the odds. I mean, they've adjusted a little, maybe from plus 280-ish, but they're still just giving, it's just way too much value on this guy not to keep playing him. He scored in 7 of Nuremberg's last 10, and even more recently than that, he scored in 3 of their last 5. And in the very last match that they played, he scored 2. So he scored a brace. So yeah, I'm just, those odds alone, me expecting this team to score and they're at home, that guy at plus 250 is ridiculous. So third of a unit, half unit, that's the way that I play these guys. Now, this one's going to be on the same day in the same league. This is a different matchup. We're going to go to Karlsruhe versus St. Pauli here. This guy is another one. Same story as the last, so I won't belabor the issue. Just insane value that they refuse to adjust because I guess people are too busy betting the Bundesliga 1 players. And probably 90 of the 98 people on my list, most people have never heard of, which is what I love, right? This kind of people that they are slow to adjust to. Mm-hmm. So we're going to take this guy, Marcel Hartel, and they are offering him at a ridiculous plus 300. So the only stat you need to know here, he's scored in 4 of their last 5. They keep offering him at this, and we keep slamming, and I keep expecting to see it at plus 150 the next match, and it just stays there. So yeah, all over that guy.
And Karlsruhe, their opponent, they let up a ton of goals, right? That's
yes.
Yeah, he plays for St. Pauli, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So Karlsruhe. Gosh, sorry.
No, they make German spellings weird.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They let up a ton of goals. I get they have not allowed 2 goals in their last home game, but they have played some bad teams in Magdeburg and Gareth Firth. But before that, you saw both teams to score yes in like 5 games in a row, allowed multiple goals to 4 out of those 5 in that run. And St. Pauli sitting in first place in Bundesliga 2. I don't think they have a problem here. I actually like their team total over as well. I think they score some goals. I like the game total over here. So there's quite a few ways to attack this game. So I love Ash's anytime goal scorer. I don't have anything official for the show on this one. Make sure you check out the Discord and or Juice Reel to get my plays for this game for Saturday. Tomorrow morning, it'll be out early. These games kick off super early, like 7:30 Eastern, or between 7:30 and 8:30 Eastern tomorrow morning. So just remember, Bundesliga 2 kicks off before regular Bundesliga 1. So just keep that in mind.
Yep. Yeah, those are, so I'm in Hawaii. I think those are like 1 a.m. for me. So probably 6 a.m.-ish if like for East Coast people. Yeah, those are super early. So definitely if you're interested in those, I wouldn't drag my feet on those.
Yep.
And this next guy, I thought about not giving him out because I've never seen another capper play him. I don't say if we've played the guy 10 times, I swear he's hit in 8 of them. It's ridiculous. So just a little hidden gem of mine. This is in Italy Serie B. So, one rung on the ladder lower than the league that everyone knows, which is Serie A in Italy. So we're going to go to lower Italy league here. And I'm going to say his name the best I can. I think it's probably right. But anyway, the matchup is between Ascoli and Venezia. This guy plays for Venezia. And his name is Joel Pojampalo. And we're going to take him to score at any time at plus 187. He's pretty much those same odds, just constantly. I mean, just pull his name up and look at the number of goals he scores and the consistency that he scores with. Mm-hmm. And I rarely lay juice to play a goal scorer. I would play this guy at minus 130. So getting that much value to me is it is a no-brainer. And I think the fair odds would definitely be minus something, at least minus 115. So yeah, he has scored in 5 of their last 6. That's as far as I went back. He scored in, tons more than that. But, very recent form is one of my main factors that goes into it. So all of these that I'm giving you guys today, these have all scored in like 3 of their last 5 or 4 of their last 6. Like these are all really good odds, but also guys that are in really fantastic, really, really recent form. And that was going to be it, but I sent Jacob these over, and then I was kind of mulling over this other guy that actually posted in VIP a couple days ago. But I checked, and the odds are still there. So this is way too much value to not swing at. So I'm going to give you guys this bonus play here. Germany, lower league again. This is going to be Hamburg versus Kaiserslautern. I think Hamburger at home, they're like minus 150-ish favorites, but they're a team that I usually like to bet. I've laid off of them probably for a good couple of months. They're just underperforming and they're leaking goals, which is perfect for this guy that I like to take anyway. And he's going up against the Hamburg might be favorites, but I wouldn't bet a side in this one, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised to see Kaiserslautern, step up and upset them, but it doesn't matter. As long as this guy scores, that's all we give a shit about. So we are going to take Ragnar Ake, Ache. Looks like Ake, and I hope I'm not butchering the poor guy's name.
And sorry, we'll put it in the comments below so people know what it is. So
okay. Yeah. So he's also at plus 300. This guy, I'm just going to give you very recent form on him. He scored in 2 of their last 3, and one of those he scored a brace. And in the other one, he scored a hat trick. So obviously, we're going to take him at plus 300. But with a brace and a hat trick, super confident, 2 of their last 3 games, crushing it. He's coming up against this Hamburg side that's just kind of lackluster right now. We're obviously going to sprinkle him to score twice. That is at a ridiculous plus 2,200. So yeah, 0.1 unit has a return of 2.2 units on it. So that's a no-brainer.
In VIP, a good shot to take regardless. That's a good price. So yeah.
That's an insane price. We also did a small sprinkle on a hat trick at plus 10,000.
Oh, wow.
For this guy. Sometimes betting is just like, do I expect him to score a hat trick? No. Would I be completely shocked? No. I mean,
sure.
He scored 2 and then he scored 3.
It's
so
like
often
Mike Trout hitting homers the other day. You know what I mean? Like
sometimes
people just go off. They have the capability. It's in there somewhere. It's just what day is it going to be?
Right. And I the way I play these scores, usually for really good scores, it's like to score 2 plus, it's like plus 750, plus 800. So to me, for him to score a hat trick should be the plus 2,200 price, right? So getting him to score twice at plus 2,200 and a hat trick at plus 10,000, that's, you sprinkle 0.1 units, literally. You're not going to miss it, but is it worth it? It absolutely is. That guy's on fire. He's playing with a ton of confidence. They're playing this Hamburg side that usually dominate them, but I think they'll see this as, a chance for them to maybe take it to a team that usually handles them pretty easily. And I don't think that they will here. So yeah, we're going to take him at plus 300. That's going to be our main play. And then 0.1 unit to score 2 plus at plus 2,200. And if you feel so inclined, you sprinkle that hat trick at plus 10,000. And goodness, I mean, if he hits the one goal, you're way in the profit. And if he hits 2, then yeah, honestly, I've made your week for you.
If he hits 2, and depending on where you're playing, you might want to look out for a cash out option in the middle of that. If it's getting dicey towards the end.
No, these are all separate bets here.
No, I know what you mean. So yeah, we'll have the 1 bet on anytime goal scorer, the 0.1 on the 2 goals. But if on the hat trick, if he gets to 2 goals, we cash the 2 goals. You'll also probably have a payout option for the 3 for the hat trick at plus 10,000 at a really good profit.
Yeah.
So just keep an eye out on that as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think about that because I'm usually just putting such a small play on the hat trick. I let it ride. But yeah, with it being plus 10,000, I'm glad you pointed that out because if he does hit 2, you'd probably be offered, something pretty decent on that.
The dogs agreed too.
Good. So they love my pick, so
they do always. They always love them. All right, so I'll give you guys my plays for the weekend. I am heading over to the Premier League. I have 4 plays in the Premier League. Usually I try to target some of the smaller leagues because these bigger leagues are usually some of the sharpest ones out there. The books are dialed in because they're the most bet ones, but I saw some plays that I just could not turn away from. So the first game we're going to is this Crystal Palace versus Man City game, and I'm all over Man City here. I get Man City is on the road. But they're in third place. Crystal Palace just is a bit of disappointment all season long. Man City just drew their last one, 1-1 versus Liverpool. That's fine. It's Liverpool. Before that, they won 5 in a row, scored 3 goals. Had at least 3 goals, and 4 out of those 5 had their own goals at 3 or more in 3 out of those 5. So they've been scoring goals on the road. They've also been allowing some goals on the road as well. So Crystal Palace at home might be able to sneak one by, which I think plays into the total here as well. But Crystal Palace just has not been performing, especially against the top half of the table. I don't think they have beaten anybody in the top 5 so far this year. So I'm on a couple of plays here. I like Man City to score in both halves, plus 105. I think they put up 3 goals at least in this game. I think they score one early, and they'll definitely get one in the second half. And then I also took the over 2.75. So if it hits 3, we win it all. If it, yeah, right. You know what?
So 2.75. If it hits 3, then you get a half win. Yeah.
Right. And if it goes over that, then you win them all. Yeah. Sorry, that's just really weird. I might even take that at over 3 to get even a better price on. It's at minus 110. I'm not positive yet. I'm sorry, it's at minus 120. But keep an eye on the socials to see if I take it at a higher price. I'll also be probably looking at Man City team total over here. But yeah, I think they handle Crystal Palace no problem. Any thoughts for you on this one?
Well, anytime the EPL is brought up, I want to throw things. Crystal Palace, I had a nice bet builder put together on their last match day, and I just needed 2 shots from one of their players. And I think the entire team had 3 or 4 shots for the entire match. So I just couldn't figure that out. But it's one of those outliers and anomalies. They could have been looking ahead to this match. But yeah, Man City was like a team that was on fire, and then I was kind of like, what's wrong with them, right?
Yeah.
But now, I think with but like you said, them drawing with Liverpool, there's never any shame in no matter who you are drawing with Liverpool.
Right.
Liverpool's absolutely fantastic team this season.
Yep.
But I think that Man City have heard the chirping, and I think they know that they're in a race, and I don't know if I'll bet it myself just because I'm so gun shy with the EPL right now, but
Sure.
From what I've seen of Crystal Palace and what Man City when they care to play well, they could absolutely blow them out in this one. So yeah, I'm surprised to get over 2.75 at those odds. Yeah, I think that's
it's pretty
great
solid.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on, we are going to the Aston Villa game. Aston Villa is taking on Brentford. Aston Villa in 4th place, taking on a 15th place Brentford team. Brentford have not won in their last 5. They have drawn a bunch of those. But on the road so far this year, they've only won 3 games. They have not won in their last 4. Before that, it was 5 games before they had won another game. They're giving up a bunch of goals, giving up over 1.5 team total goals to their opponents in 3 out of their last 5. Before that, it was 4 out of the last 5. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's a shitload.
Yeah, 7 out of the last 10 games they've allowed over 1.5. So they give up a ton of goals. And this Aston Villa team just had a bad loss on the road to Man City. They've been kind of struggling on the road a little bit. So I think they'd like nothing more than to come home where they played pretty solidly. They had a loss to Newcastle, Man United, and Tottenham in their last 5 games. Otherwise, they won 2 of the last 5. Before that, they had a pretty solid win streak, like 8 games in a row. They had won at home. And then it was 9 out of the last 10 before that. So I really like Aston Villa here to get it done. I took them at -1. It's at plus 115, so a good plus money price here. I don't think Brentford scores more than one goal. I think we see like a 3-1 final here. So I also took Aston Villa team total over 1.5 at minus 175. I get it is juicy. You guys, you know me. You don't pay the juice if you win. And
That's
I'm not,
true.
yeah, I'm not scared of it. I'm the kind of guy who's totally happy betting 175 to win 100. It's not that big of a deal
Yeah.
to me. I think paying the extra couple of dollars to make sure that you can get that to get the win, is much better. If you wanted to take over 2.5, you could. But what if they only score 2 and then you're going to be kicking yourself? I think they can definitely score 2. Not positive about 3, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely on 2 here. So love Aston Villa -1 and their team total over here.
Yeah, and I'm with you. If minus 175 is better than the expected or fair odds that you think it is, then value is value. I mean,
Right.
if at minus 240, the line is just wrong and should be minus 350, then you should bet it.
The
Yeah,
over two
value
and a
when you
half
find it.
the over 2.5 is at plus 169, so you can kind of see the discrepancy. Books definitely think it's going to hit
Mhm.
2, but over 2.5, that jumps up quite a bit to that plus money,
Right,
plus 169. So you can kind of read between the lines with what the books think by the odds that they have out there.
right.
So now we're going to Bundesliga 1. I got a couple of plays from here as well. I'm
I'm
going to
actually excited to hear these.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not used to Bundesliga one from you, and there are some interesting matchups. So I'm curious to see where you go with these.
I usually save my Bundesliga plays for my subscription, just because it is one of my best
Uh,
leagues. So that is
gotcha.
one I like to pick on, but sometimes you got to pay for the goods. It's only $5 a week. Don't be cheap. We put in a lot of work for this. Ash and I both do. So
Better
support the
believe that.
hustle and sign up for our subscription services. So shameless plug. But yeah, Man City. I mean, sorry, Man City. Bayern Munich taking on Heidenheim. 11th place, Bayern Munich currently sitting in second. Heidenheim not won in 5 games. They have scored in 4 out of their last 5, but they've also been allowing a ton of goals at home so far this year. Like I said, they have not won at home in their last 5 games either. Before that, they had a couple of wins, but it was against Freiburg and Darmstadt, 2 teams that aren't very good. The amount of goals Bayern Munich has been scoring lately is ridiculous. I get that they just got shut out by Borussia Dortmund at home. It happens. Dortmund, they've been a back and forth team. Sometimes they're red hot, sometimes they're not. They had a lucky day. We've seen Bayern Munich kind of be a little wishy-washy sometimes, but I feel like they have turned it back on. So I will forgive the one loss. Before that, though, 5-2 versus Darmstadt, 8-1 versus Mons. 2-2 versus Freiburg, 2-1 versus Leipzig. So these are pretty solid teams that they've been taken down. And on the road, we've seen them put up a ton of goals in pretty much every game. They've only not scored on the road in 1 away game so far this year. Heidenheim, I think, is just these 2 teams are just way on different levels here. So I like Bayern Munich -1, which I was shocked that you could even get for this game. It's at -188. If you're looking to bring it down, I would look at Bayern Munich and over 2.5 as an option here to get it down a little lower. But to be able to, the money line is untouchable, but to get Bayern Munich win at any price, just having them really needing to win, I think is phenomenal, and you got to take a stab at it. So yeah, it's -188. If you guys want the better numbers, like I said, sign up for the subscription service. But Bayern Munich to score in both halves, -130. I think Heidenheim has serious defensive issues.
Yeah.
And Bayern Munich, like I said, just at another level. I think the Bayern second team could take down this Heidenheim team. So I really love them to score in both halves here as well. I kind of look at this as like the same exact situation and game as Man City. This is the German Man City versus Crystal Palace game. So that's how I'm looking at this, and I feel like it plays out the same way.
Yeah, I'll just give a couple of thoughts on that one. So I love betting Bundesliga. I'm steering. I think I'm going to take a couple of spots this weekend, but this is one I'll definitely not be touching. So
Oh no.
everything you said is spot on. That Heidenheim team, newly promoted, right?
Yep.
I mean, they can score. So if you want to find value in Bayern Munich winning, maybe taking them to win and both teams to score. Bayern do concede goals, but the thing that worries me with that is their level of talent. Heidenheim can't touch them, right? Like you said, the bench players for Bayern Munich should be able to blow these guys out. But it's a couple of things that makes me stay away. Well, there's a few things. Number one, just being, I fucking hate betting Bayern Munich. I can never get that team right. They'll win every match unless I take them. But I'm a little bit skeptical of kind of like, or curious, I guess, is the more accurate word, of how they're going to play here with Leverkusen having this title locked up. And then you just kind of wonder, right, if they just say, to hell with the Bundesliga title, let's just focus on the Champions League. So, but yeah, I mean, everything you're saying is right. So getting Bayern Munich at a -1 versus a newly promoted side should be a no-brainer. I don't think it's a bad play. I just think it's just too many question marks. I'm so tired of like trying to guess which teams actually show up and try. Believe it or not, everything that Jacob and I do with analytics, current form, head-to-head, all of these things. I mean, when we can crunch these numbers all we want, and when those players step on the pitch, we have not a fucking thing that we control about it, right? I'll place a bet, and the team has 4 shots an entire match. I'm just like, what the hell are they doing?
Yep.
So, yeah, but I do like the aspect too, though. If I think a lot of people are looking at it like me, and I think Bayern Munich might know that, just thinking, well, everyone thinks we're just going to give up. Leverkusen have that Bundesliga title pretty much wrapped up. So if they come out with pride and want to play, yeah, it's another Man City case, right? Of like, when they try, they can. There's not many teams that they can't blow out. So yeah, right. I mean, it's either going to be weird and you don't know how they're going to play, or it's going to be a really long day for Heidenheim. I just kind of don't like having to guess to see which version of Bayern we're going to get.
Listen, I get Leverkusen kind of has the title wrapped up. How many games do they play in the regular season? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
I'll tell you one second. 34 games. So they have 7 games left or so, about that. So yeah, it's going to be pretty impossible for Bayern Munich to catch Leverkusen. I think Leverkusen would probably have to lose every game, and they would have to win pretty much every game. So I get that, but I think it's still too early to say that Bayern Munich has like packed it up for the season, for like the regular season. Yeah. I think they still keep playing tough. Heidenheim, not much to play for. They're not going to get relegated. They can't really advance either. So I still like Bayern Munich to be able to get it done here. So yeah, that was my only thought on it. But I do have.
I'm not trying to slam your pick. I think there's hands down they are the far, far, far superior team.
Right.
So yeah, they try. Then your play is spot on. There's no doubt about that.
Yep. So lastly, I have one more game. I'm going to this Bayer Leverkusen game. Bayer Leverkusen is taking on Union Berlin, who currently sits in 12th place. Like we just said, Leverkusen in first. And I'm taking Leverkusen -1 and their team total over 1.5. The team total over 1.5 is -155. Not so bad for this Leverkusen team. And -1 is a -112. Union Berlin has won 1 game in their last 5. Like I said, they sit in 12th place at home. They haven't played so bad. They've won 5 out of the last 7 games. So they're, 5-1-1 the last 7. But when it comes to playing these better teams, they just get demolished. We haven't really seen them take down any top half of the table teams. And their home schedule has been super easy so far this year. I mean, I'm looking at their schedule, and you're not really seeing. They played Mainz, Leipzig, Hoffenheim, Stuttgart, Eintracht Frankfurt, Augsburg, Borussia Mönchengladbach, Köln, Darmstadt, Wolfsburg, Heidenheim, and Dortmund again. No real tough teams at home. Top half of the table kind of people. For Union Berlin, and Leverkusen has just been blown through this whole season. Have not lost on the road so far yet this year. They've won all their games except 2. They drew the other 2. One versus Bayern Munich 2-2, and the other versus Stuttgart 1-1. 2 top tier teams. The number 2 and number 3 teams, only teams that they had any real competition versus on the while playing away so far this year. Because Stuttgart is sitting in 3rd place currently. So yeah, I like them to just demolish this Union Berlin team. Pretty simple handicap for me on that.
Yeah, I like all of your plays. I think that just all you made plays that aren't they're not necessarily safe, because what is it in sports betting, right? But you have definitely picked three teams that all three of them, if they step on that pitch and give a shit, that's half the battle, and it's
Right.
going to be tough to stop them. So
Yep.
yeah, I like those plays. Yeah, if
The other
hopefully
thing I'm looking at
all
here,
those teams show up and actually try and earn those multi-millions that they make.
I know, right? So the other thing I'm looking at here too is I'm probably going to take over 2 in each of these matches and parlay them all together. I just kind of been thinking about that as we've been doing the show and kind of talked myself into it. So keep an eye on the socials to see that bonus play. I'll have probably about 20 other soccer plays for tomorrow. I have a 5-unit play going. I got a bunch of stuff going. But before we get out of here, why don't we go ahead and recap our best bets?
All right, so am I going first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we have the El Trafico match here in the MLS. We have LAFC going up against the Galaxy. We're going to take the combo of both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at -140. Then we're going to take a trip south to Mexico in the matchup of Tigre versus Pachuca, over 2.75 at -110. And these last three are going to be German goal scorers and one in Italy. So we have Kan Uzun, anytime goal scorer, +250. Marcel Hartel with St. Pauli, anytime goal scorer, +300. And then the lower league in Italy, we have Joel Pajampalo, I'm assuming, to score at +187. And then the bonus pick in Germany also for Kaiserslautern, we're going to take Ragnar Ake to score at +300, to score twice at +1,200, and a tiny sprinkle on a Hattie there at +10,000.
We'll make sure to put that in the comments so you guys know exactly who it is, because it's a little hard to try and find that name if you're just listening to it. Let people know where they can find you, your subscription service, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so Soccer Q Ash on Twitter. That's pretty much it. I have the links to anything else that you would need on there. And yeah, come chat with me and rant. If you're seeing me rant on there and people missing pins, come join in on the conversation, because I invent curse words all the time. You're guaranteed to have some entertainment. You'll either love it or hate it, but you will be entertained in the way.
Listen, Ash is one of the best follows on soccer, really entertaining and educational, really total great follow. And we hopefully will finally get her set up in the Discord and on the Juice Reel and all that good stuff, and get some things streamlined as the Pick Management Network continues to grow.
Yes.
So yeah, I'll give you guys my plays and we'll get you out of here. I have quite a few. Man City to score in both halves, +105. Crystal Palace, Man City over 2.75, -120. Aston Villa -1, +115. Villa team total over 1.5, -175. Bayern Munich -1, -188. Bayern Munich to score in both halves, -130. Bayer Leverkusen team total over 1.5 at -155. And Bayer Leverkusen team total, Bayer Leverkusen -1 at -112. So yeah. You guys can find me here daily on on the NHL and NBA Betting Insiders every day. You can find me weekly here on the MLS Betting Insiders, and of course, Betting the Pitch Europe. Right now, the Final Four March Madness edition of our Final Four episode for March Madness.
Roll Tide, you know how to throw that in there. I have to step all over your outro just to say Roll Tide. Roll Tide to my Bama boys in the Final Four.
Yeah. I actually want to tell you, I'm against them. I'm from Connecticut. Of course, I'm riding with UConn.
Oh, God damn it. I forgot.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah.
I'm never going to hear the end of this when we lose.
It's okay. But yeah, Chris Bassett and I, our Final Four edition of the March Madness podcast presented by Rhythm is out now. Make sure you guys check out the Rhythm app. The link is below. Also, if you're looking to take the next step in your betting career, you need to sign up for Juice Reel. Free to sign up. Check it out. Link is below. Otherwise, you guys can find me across all socials at Pick Management. This has been Betting the Pitch Europe. We will see you later.